Alright, here we go for the first round with our junk deck. We won the roll, so I'll be going first. Let's see what our opening hand looks like. Yeah, this looks pretty good. Got a sack outlet. Skursdag High Priest is pretty sick. Voice of Resurgent is also very good. So anyway, we're going to lead off with a tapped Shrine. Notably, one difference from this deck and the Aristocrats is that I have less 1-drops. The Aristocrats deck played 4 Doom Traveler and 4 Champion of the Parish. And I ended up cutting the Champion because we just don't have enough humans in this version. So, alright, so to lead it off, like Godless Shrine could mean any number of things. Could mean the Aristocrats, could mean Esper. I'm just going to lead off with the Voice because it's the best card in its own regard. And they're going to have to answer it eventually. And if they don't, we're just going to get our engine running. Yeah, it just depends on what he plays here. Alright, so he's... Let's see. Yeah, it looks like this is the Aristocrats. So, I think I'm going to play the High Priest next. Oh, well, we got a Varls. No, I think I still play the High Priest just to start getting our sack outlet going. So next turn, if he taps out for a Reckoner or something, I can play Aristocrat and make a Demon. Seems quite strong. First, we'll see if he wants to trade, but I have a feeling he doesn't want to. So yeah, we'll play this tapped. And High Priest. Yeah, one advantage that the regular Aristocrats deck gets with red is the Reckoners and the Aristocrats. But I think we're okay in the mirror because we have Tragic Slips and Orzhov Charms to deal with them. Tragic Slip is a very, very good card in this matchup. Might even consider putting a 4th in, but I'm not sure what we would cut. Alright, so he's just going to kill my guy, which is actually fine. That's one less removal spell we have to worry about, and he spent his turn doing it. So at this point, generally I like to run out Lingering Souls before one of my sack outlets so I can protect them, but we do have this Voice out. I could also just go for the beatdown plan with Dragmangler. Dragmangler is probably the least synergistic card in this deck besides the Restoration Angels, which are just too good not to put in our deck, and it's a good top ender, but Dragmangler can help turn the tide a little bit, like if they think we're trying to go into hibernation mode, we can just get some free damage in whenever we want. And he can't really kill any of our creatures profitably. Like this could be an Aristocrat coming down now. And if so, it was the right move to go Dragmangler because... Oh, he's going Sorin. Sorin's a little difficult. So yeah, this turn we probably run out Lingering Souls just so we can deal with that. Maybe in Lotlith Troll for the trample. We do have some creatures to pitch, even though they're not really the typical creatures that you want to pitch. Let's see. Alright, wouldn't mind a couple lands at this point so we can run out some multiple things on our turns. Here I think I just bash if he wants to block the Resurgence with Aristocrats, and I don't know. Anyway, we'll see what he wants to do. Let's just try to get Sorin off the table. Looks like he's running the yeah, that's what I thought he was gonna do. So our Voice dies. And we get an Elemental token, which is currently a 2/2. And second main, I'm going to run out my souls. Elemental becomes a 4/4. Pass the turn. Lingering Souls on his side would be kind of annoying. I have a feeling he would have played it already, though. Yeah, he just made a vampire. Like, he could have gone Lingering Souls plus Emblem or something, but looks like he's just trying to protect Sorin, and he doesn't have the means to do it properly. Anyway, as I was saying, it looks like this isn't the... oh, there's Lingering Souls. Looks like this isn't the list that won the Pro Tour. This is the Act 2 deck, championed by Brad Nelson, which is a little bit slower. Features cards like Blasphemous Act, which I need to be aware of. Like, I might want to run a Varls out right now, just with Blasphemous Act in mind. Another voice. Yeah, we could really use a land now because we have all these 2-drops in play. We can only play one at a time. Maybe I just go Lotleth Troll. Yeah, that seems better because we get the trample. Like, Varls isn't going to do a whole lot except maybe grow our spirits. But we already have a pretty tight mana going on in with our hand situation. I think I'm just going to run out the troll. Well, let's see. I can attack first. Yeah, let's just send everyone at Soren and see what he wants to do. He's going to block everything. Sack the lifelinker. Okay. Sure. So our spirits trade, it looks like. Yep. Alright, so yeah, he can flashback souls. I could do the same, but we can't really afford to just match him 1-for-1 at this point. We need to get rid of that Soren somehow, so let's put a trampler on the field. His only way to really deal with that is Lotleth Troll. The only way to really deal with it is Tragic Slip. And since he has the Aristocrat out, he can do that without too much trouble. Like, if he tried it now... okay. Yeah, he's just going to do that. Sure. Can't do anything about that. So yeah, in this matchup, since this is, I think, the slower version of the Aristocrats, we want to go with the more high-end plan. Like, cut some of the aggro guys for Obsidat and Vraska and whatnot, so we can deal with his board stalling cards like Soren. Just try to push through as much as we can. Sin Collector. Alright, well, you're not going to hit, but you can take a look at what I've got going on. Reveal my hand to you. He says, ouch. Yep. Now you can flashback Lingering Souls. And I'm going to get in for some damage for Soren, which I think is fine. Like, we're not going to take him out completely, but at least Lotleth Troll will grow. And hopefully he doesn't have a Tragic Slip in hand, because that would be kind of a blowout. And he didn't flashback Lingering Souls, which is kind of worrisome. Let's see what we can do here. Alright, well, we get our 4th land finally. Don't know if we want to play right now. Yeah, we're not really playing into anything, so let's just bash Soren again. Let's try to clear the board as much as we can. Probably pitch one Aristocrat and the Voice, and then probably post-combat play. Okay. Hang on. So we're going to pitch Aristocrat, Voice, put 2 counters on him. So he tramples over for 2. He does have the Tragic Slip. Alright. Yeah, we can't regenerate that, so yeah. It's pretty annoying. So I think we just go Lingering Souls, Cartel Aristocrat. And we can get around Soren's ultimate that way. Like, his ultimate doesn't really do much because we can just sack everything he targets or give protection. So we'll go Aristocrat. Flashback. Yeah, and the nice thing about Varls is that means that Tragic Slip blowout on the Lotleth Troll wasn't a complete waste, because now we have these guys in our graveyard that we can scavenge on later once we've dealt with this mess of a board state. And he's still got that Lingering Souls in the wings. Yeah, that Soren makes things tough, for sure. An interesting problem, he says. Luckily, he only has 2 cards in hand. Alright, so he pumps him up to 7 to make a token. I think what we want to do is give our Aristocrat pro white. No, that doesn't work because Lingering Souls tokens are white. The Vampire token is black, I think, just black. Yeah, so this is mono black, this is mono white. So even if we give Aristocrat protection from one of the colors, the other color can block it, so we can't deal with Sorin unless we sack 2 creatures, which I'm not sure we want to do at this moment because we're kind of losing the race. And we want to keep our creatures around. Let's see what we draw. Let's see, what are our options? We can bounce a creature. We have no 1 CMC cards to return from our graveyard at the moment. Or we can destroy. Like, we could destroy the Vampire, then give pro white and get in. I don't know about that. I think it might be time to start bashing him in the face. Like, I'll play my Varls, start scavenging onto my Aristocrat, and just getting in. Yeah, the Sorin's pretty annoying. Yeah, my only concern, like, I don't really care about his ultimate. Like I said, I can pretty much negate it with all my sack outlets. I'm worried about him starting to pump out emblems and just attacking back. So I think it's time to start getting on the offensive on his face. Problem is he can keep making black tokens as well to just block the Aristocrat every turn. Let's see if he recognizes that. Pro white. We'll attack you. Yep, he sees it. Yeah, that's very annoying. I guess we'll just run out Varls here. And say go. Yeah, one thing that this deck suffers from that that this version of the Aristocrats does have is the evasion of Falconwrath Aristocrat, and even Boros Reckoner is kind of evasion because they don't really want to block it because they just take damage anyway. Now's the tough call, he says. I don't really see what the tough call is. You just keep abusing Sorin's abilities. This Orzhov Charm isn't really pulling its weight. It's probably one of the cards I'm going to cut. Alright, so he's going to sack, he's going to use Sorin, so response, we're going to go sack. Yep, he knows what's going on. Regenerate this guy. Possibly as a tragic slip, which is why he would have made that play. I'm not sure why I would have done it anyway. Very curious about the Sin Collector main board. I mean, I don't know what the Cockatrice metagame is like, but I haven't seen a lot of control decks or anything. Maybe he's just testing it out. I don't know. Got all these 2-drops in our graveyard, but don't really have any good targets. I mean, now I guess I can start scavenging. He didn't make a Vampire, so unless he plays a mono black guy like High Priest or something, we can start getting in again. At least we can kill Sorin, which is probably what I'm going to do first. Yeah, this is the other thing. He's just going to start bashing us. I take 4. Another problem is I don't really have any good creature targets to sack with the Aristocrats. I don't really want to sack Varls at the moment. Let's see. Alright, well that was a very good draw. So, yeah, we'll go Doom Traveler. So let's see. Go sack pro white. Get a spirit token. Let's scavenge just the Traveler at the moment. 3/3. And I'll send the spirit at his face. We could hold it back on defense, but I'd rather just try to actually win the game. Oh, right. Spirit is Summoning Sickness. What am I doing? Alright, well, I guess it is going back on defense because I can't attack with a Summoning Sick Spirit. Very interesting game. Blasphemous Act could be kind of annoying, although we do have Varls, which will survive it. And the Aristocrat would actually also survive it. There's an Aristocrat. Okay, let's see what we can do here. I think I just block with the Spirit. How do we do this? Yeah, we'll go like this, let him sack something. Sure. And we take 2. Okay. So yeah, now we just keep scavenging. Yeah, the problem with that chump block is that... Oh, that was a very good draw. So I guess we could 2-for-1 ourselves with Orzhov Charm and Tragic Slip to get rid of the Aristocrat. Let's see. I could also try to Orzhov Charm one of his Aristocrats. He'll just sack a Spirit. See, the other thing is I want to get my Aristocrat big enough to survive the double attack here. Or double block, rather. He could be holding like his own Orzhov Charm or a Tragic Slip or something. I don't know, this is an interesting one. Interesting situation. I think... Yeah, so what I could do is scavenge onto here, force him to block and sack something, which means I could Tragic Slip without having to waste my Orzhov Charm, so I think I'm just going to do that. So we're going to pay 2, scavenge my Voice of Resurgence. Add 2, whoops. So he becomes a 5/5, so we'll survive combat with the Aristocrats on his side. And then... depending on what he does, I can just slip his guy. If he lets us through, it does kind of put a wrench in my plans. Alright, so he is doing what I expected. Alright, so they bounce off. And we're gonna slip his Aristocrat. Alright, so we have... effectively survived that onslaught. We don't have Orzhov Charm mana up anymore, but I think that's okay. We can regenerate our Varls if he tries anything funny. Holding up priority on my end step. Not sure what this could be. Alright, going to his turn. So he doesn't have a Tragic Slip. He could now, but I have a feeling he has nothing. Yep, there's a land. One less card we have to worry about. Attacking for 1. The other bad thing about not playing Champion of the Parish is that we don't have many targets for Orzhov Charm to reanimate stuff. Like the Dune Traveler is our only target. So like in this situation we don't really have any way to get Cartel Aristocrat around his guys. Other than just growing him and bashing some more. Let's see. I could start getting in with Varls too. He only has 1 card. I'm going to assume it's a land. I could also just... no, my only option is to... oh, what I could do is this. Pay my land, I'll name human, I guess. So we can go 1, 2, 3. Scavenge. Make him big enough to survive combat as well, and this allows me to hold up Orzhov Charm as well. I thought I was going to be 1 mana short, but this actually works out. So he gets 1 more free sacrifice off the Spirit, but then he's out of gas basically. He says mana flooded, yeah. Alright, he's just taking it. Respectable, I guess. Yep, I'll just hold up mana for any kind of shenanigans. Not sure what he could have other than like Reckoner plus the Blasphemous Act, but then I could just kill his Reckoner in response. think we might have this one. Okay, and he scoops. Alright, so against him, sideboarding. Not sure what he would sideboard against me. It's possible he just doesn't know what I am. Oops. I'll bring in Obsidat. He seems fine. Don't like Sin Collector. Vraska's good against his stupid, what's his face? Sorin. Wars of Charms are pretty underwhelming. Lingering Souls is pretty necessary. I need to bring in a land for the Obsidats. Doom Travelers seem pretty important too. Maybe the High Priests don't pull their weight. I mean, if he doesn't have the removal for them, he can just activate pretty much every turn, so he seems pretty good. I'll just cut. I'll shave one Traveler and one Lotleth Troll because they're the least important cards to our strategy. Restoration Angel just gets over all his guys, so I'm gonna leave it in, even though it's not super synergistic.